Return to Paradise, the Queen's Identity, Section 15. So we started at... I don't remember what section we started at. It's been a lot of long sections. I think we'll see what how long the next section is, and we might be calling it here soon, because we've been almost going for... closing in on 3 hours here at this point. And I don't want another crash to occur, because those get annoying to edit around. The Zero Zero has entered a stable zone. We should finally be safe here, at least for a while. Once again, we escaped by the skin of our teeth, though I was hoping to never have to cut it that close again. We made it, though. Eh? You're as tasteless as a tiger shark. Do you always bring your enemies with you like this? Oh, but isn't this strange? Something I saw in the Wandering Sea? I didn't know you were here, too. As you can see, I'm currently nothing more than a fellow fugitive. As they say, no road's long with a good company, and love makes the world go round. What a perfect example of strange bedfellows, or shipmates, if you will. Of course, this is strictly temporary business arrangement, but I do hope we can get along for its duration. Likewise. Oh, and not so much as a finger on the instruments, please. If you so much as breathe on them, Monsieur Detective there is going to open up a can of Baritsu on your ass. Now, I'll thank you for not to refer to the detectives as you would a knife. Never mind that my deductions are so sharp one could cut themselves on them. Even I would need a hot shower if I were to get in the blood of so toxic mixing on me. Oh my, that office banter is so put it here. You're not picking a fight with me, are you? Oh man. This is hilarious. What I want to know is why is Doom pointing out how Koyan's outfit just magically fixed itself? She even looks good in traditional Indian outfit complete with sari. Is she an angel? A demon after all. Alright, enough small talk. We did a great deal of questions in the precious little time. Let's begin with your present circumstances. Why did you seek refuge aboard the border? Are you with the Lostbelt, or rather the Fort of the God? Well, you know how bands sometimes split up because of creative differences. It's a lot like that, I think. Peperoncino there can attest to it. I never liked this one much to begin with. I was planning to wash my hands of him once he served his purpose, but he ended up beating me to the punch. He filled Dodge in his ears with all sorts of nonsense about me, and now I'm officially persona non grata in this India. That said, I never had much of an opinion about this Lostbelt to begin with, so I'm not too broken up now that I've been exiled from it. But for the time being, I think I'll stick around a while longer. Let's just say I have my reasons. I thought as much. Thought as much about what, Peperoncino the traitor? Oh, a swing and a miss. I haven't betrayed anyone, but thanks for playing. My goal as cryptor is to grow my tree of emptiness, and I certainly haven't abandoned it. I'm not on bad terms with anyone from Team A, and I have no intention of defying the foreign god either. You're the ones I don't trust. Are you alter egos? I mean, how could I? You're all the definition of shady. It's because I have my doubts about you three that I share the information I have with Soul. I thought I could gain some insight from a different perspective on the situation, though I'm sure Holmesy has already deduced as much. Indeed, I was fully aware you were probing our goals and perspectives, but of course I allowed it as I could tell you were doing so from a place of fairness rather than malice. Given the current state of the world, it doesn't take me much thought to realize this fatal contradiction. The fact that Miss Koyan is here right now only serves to further reinforce it. While I do feel as though I already have a firm grasp on the answer, I also feel as though it would be improper for me to be the one to explain it. So as one of those directly involved, I would like to ask you about this great mystery we can no longer ignore, Scandinavia Peperoncino. Oh, that's sweet. How can you be so kind and handsome and yet so unpopular? Is it because you're inhumane at heart? Alright then, don't mind if I do. Koyan, you can confirm this for me, right? The goals of the cryptors and the foreign gods' disciples don't completely line up, do they? Oh? What do you mean? Let me be clear, this world is headed towards oblivion. The way it's being run now, it can't possibly end up anything but halfway decent. Once it's completely purged of evil, we're not going to have the perfect world he's aiming for. We'll be left with a world of total nothingness. It's fair to say that Arjun has gone completely off the rails. But the bigger problem is that you disciples aren't doing anything to stop him. If anything, that treacherous snake of a man is pushing him to hurry things along. Why? The way things are going now, both this lost and this chain of emptiness will be lost forever. So why aren't you two trying to stop that? Furthermore, given the state we found you, and it seems to also be the every possibility that you disciples don't share a common goal. Tell us, what exactly are you? Good question. I suppose if it'll pay my fare, I'll answer you as far as I'm able to. I do indeed have my own adorable goals and working towards. Adorable goals that neither the cryptos nor that shitty monk's chair. I sincerely doubt there's anything adorable about them. What are they? Well, there's tormenting humans. Oh, and collecting regional monsters, I suppose. It's a hobby of mine, investigating new and unusual creatures. She's a Pokemon trader. His Lostbelt has both cowardly and secret beasts, so I'm already pretty happy about that. What can you tell us about the other alter ego? I'm afraid that's the one I can't answer. It would violate the non-disclosure agreement in the contract I signed with the foreign god. The most I can say is that he and I most certainly do not get along, as you can tell from my presence here. The three alter egos may have different approaches due to different personalities, but share one common goal. All three alter egos want to grow the tree of emptiness to completion. I see that true for Father Komotomene. I mean, Rasputin too. Of course, but you know what happened in Russian Lostbelt with its king and Kadak being who they are. Well, despite what you might think, that priest is a genuine sage, complete with the ability to know the future. I guess you'd say he can make prophecies. And apparently he prophesied that the Russian Lostbelt was only ever going to end poorly, and acted accordingly. Alright, that's enough from me. I believe I've more than paid my fare by now. Oh no, you haven't. Not by a long shot. It costs more than that to ride my ship. Leaving the question of whether it's your ship or not aside, I'd agree that she's only begun to pay her fare. Oh, come on now. Do you have any idea how much might Rasputin's secret normally cost? That priest would never says a word about himself, you know. Hey, Mordred! Welcome, welcome. Happy things, happy things. It wasn't easy to part with them, but since doing so would be his problem more than mine, I figured I could share them with you as a little bonus of sorts. So she's willing to sell out her teammates' skills but not her own secrets, huh? Talk about a dyed-in-the-wool misanthrope. It's like everything she does is designed to piss others off. I have a feeling we're not going to get anything from her that she isn't willing to give us. For now, I guess I should be glad that I was able to confirm my hypothesis. I wonder just how much Kristari knows about the foreign god's identity and objectives. At any rate, I have no interest in what happens to this world. I'm, as they say, over it. So by all means, go ahead and mess with it as much as you like. I'd be especially happy if you could give that shitty monk this much-needed comeuppance. Do you really think we're done here? Time to throw Jax as a decoy? Like Jack the servant, or like the Jax the booby trap Jax? We saved you when you were at death's door, and I doubt you have anywhere close to your old strength yet. To put it another way, you have nowhere to run, and your life is in our hand now. Oh my, that doesn't mean you're genuinely facade coming. Now that I'm your prisoner, I wonder what it is you're going to do to me. Are you going to bind my limbs and throw me in solitary? Chop me into tiny pieces like what happened in China? What? No, I'm just referring to your promise to temporarily cooperate with us. Though that's not to say we won't take precautions. I trust there won't be an issue letting her out of here along with Sol. I highly doubt it, not with Rama Ganesha and Lakshmi keeping an eye on her. Once we have our safety measures in place, I believe our most prudent course of action will be to act on this new information. And of course, when the situation calls for it, we would like you to assist us in battle. At the moment, I believe that covers the manner of resistance we were expecting from you. Both? You know, I could take another NP for my Jack, another NP level to my Jack. Well, I can't promise to be of too much help in combat, but I can certainly fight well enough to protect my own life. And if you're treating me as a guest rather than a prisoner, I'll agree to that information I shared doesn't cover my fare. My most hated gets replaced by your second most disliked? Well, look at it this way. Arjuna is probably going to be replaced by Summer Musashi. So, there's that, Mordred. There is that. So rest assured, I'll be glad to work off the rest. I certainly don't want to be in debt to humans after all. Well, if nothing else, at least we made it through another cataclysm unscathed. I think we've all earned a little break today, so why don't we kick back and relax while we wait for the outside world to stabilize. If all goes well, maybe we'll even be able to settle everything during the next Yuga cycle. That's better for you? In fact, I'm looking. So, I'm gonna go damage, or no. Noble? No. What was it? Strength? Hang on. I know I have a list of noble comparison. Yes, the NP damage comparisons. Oh. So, Berserker, target AoE. So yeah, there's Fran, Musashi, Raiko. Oh, I forgot Jiang Yu is one as well. I completely forgot Jiang Yu is a AoE Zerker. Although, let's see. At NP1, Hijikata has the most. As far as AoE goes, though, Gajuna is still the strongest, unfortunately. But Arts, you know. Arts. So you're the one on the transmission. I go by the captain right now, though that name has no particular meaning. Not that I have any other meaningful name to go by right now, anyway. Good to meet you, Captain. You don't have to tell me, I know who you are. Do you mean we've met somewhere before? Of course not. What makes you think that? I guess it would be your scent. my scent, huh? Well, I guess I can understand that more than I could if you'd said my appearance. Anyway, I'm afraid I don't have a lot of work that I need to get back to. You should rest now while you can. Excuse me. I wonder why he's avoiding me. I don't remember wronging him. Although that look in his eyes, was it nervousness? Fear? No, wait. I think it was guilt. Oh. Alright, another no battle one. I'm fine with that. The skip button's gone. Is it already done with the mission? Alright, the Yuga's still 10 days long. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been so happy to see the sky. There really is something about seeing it for the first time in a while that appeals to even a diehard shut-in like me. Really, huh? Well, sure, all the more when you've been inside as long as I have. Alright, Draconic, thanks for stopping by, man. It was nice chatting with you for a little bit. I'll probably keep doing this tomorrow, too, because I'm probably not going to get this done today unless the next section is the very last one, but there's still a lot to tie up, so I doubt it will be. I've always enjoyed the early mornings when I'd have to run down to the convenience store to replenish my snack supplies after fighting a massive raid boss for 3 days straight. The way you could still see the stars of the first rays of the sun started to creep over the horizon was just divine. Well, maybe those spiritual morning walks that make Ganesha choose me for his vessel. Yeah, the 3-day raid boss fights, I'm pretty sure a lot of devs are getting rid of those because health and safety. My apologies for the seemingly endless string of similar instructions, but I would like you all to start by returning to Bishu as usual. Let's go. Maybe around halfway through? Good lord, this thing's like almost 30 sections then? Oh, what a perfectly peaceful little human town. It makes me positively nauseous. So, what's the plan here? You do have a plan to take down that spoiled brat turned god, don't you? We're going to tear him off his divine throne and bring him down to our level, starting with this town. Now that these people have fought their way through Kali Yuga, there should be even more of them on our side. Once we've convinced this town he isn't a god worth worshipping, we'll move on to other towns until he's weakened enough that we can defeat him. A good boycott campaign, hmm? Oh, I can see the sense of that. At least theoretically. Even though we're in a peaceful Yuga, Kali Yuga, something feels off. I feel it too. Does this town seem weirdly quiet to you too? Oh, 20. Okay, that's not too bad. I mean, it's good to know, you know? I kind of guessed we were getting close, but 20, that's not bad. I might be able to time things out then. Hey guys, I'm getting kind of worried about Asha. Remember she said our dad was injured. Maybe I should go check on her first. Of course, I was just thinking the same thing. I think her house was over in that direction. Let's go see her. Boy, oh boy. There's her house, thank goodness it's intact. Why don't we take a peek inside through the window first to see how they're doing? They're celebrating. I'm so glad we all made it to the Krita Yuga to celebrate your 4,000th day of light, Asha. Me too. Lots happened over the different Yugas, more than I can even remember. I was worried how things were going to go when I first took you in. You've grown up to be a wonderful little girl. Though, you know, it's strange. I know we've been here since way back. But this house still doesn't feel like our home. Maybe it's just too big for us. I was just thinking the same thing. Maybe it's time we thought about moving. I think there's another house we could live in not too far from here. But we don't need to think about that now. Today's your special day and we're going to celebrate. Go ahead and eat anything you want, okay? Her dad. What's wrong, Ashi? You don't look very excited. Auntie? Doesn't it feel like we're missing someone important? What do you mean? Oh, now what Luki made you do? I'm sorry, are you okay? Oh, you dropped your dish over a little question? You're such an Ulu. Oh, there it is again. It feels like someone else should have said that. It feels strange that nobody's saying it. Yeah, it really feels like there ought to be someone else here with us. What an odd little girl you are. Who would that possibly be? You know, it's always just been the three of us. Yeah, I know, but I can't help but feel like I made a promise with someone. Someone who said they'd celebrate with me and patted my head, telling me how much I've grown. Am I crying? Well, that's a funny surprise. This is supposed to be a happy day. Arjuna! I'm okay. Senpai, this is just... Let's get out of here. Right now, I don't think even I could look at Ash in the eye and smile. Oh. His leg was injured. Is that why? A little thing like that? Just what happened to Vihan. This is horrible. I don't even have words for how horrendously wrong this all is. Oh no. Does this mean... Where are you going, Lakshmi? They're not here. Hey. Oh, hello. Is everything alright? Would you like to come to my house and have a glass of grape juice? Forget about juice. What happened to all the people in the town hall? What do you mean? You know damn well what I mean. I'm talking about the people who came from Tival. There were dozens of people living here while they tried to find new homes. I'm very sorry, but I truly have no idea what you're talking about. Nobody has ever lived in the town hall. Damn it. You poor thing. I don't know what you're talking about, but I can tell you've been through a lot. Well, if there's anything I can do to help, please don't hesitate to call me. Good luck. Damn it! Damn it! Just refusing to obey sin now, your false god? Crimes so great that you throw them away like they're worthless. It seems we're too lax in our assumptions. Given how removed Arjuna is from this world, I assumed he would never bother to personally determine the so-called effectiveness of individual persons' actions, especially since we knew Duval continued to exist across Yugas even after they began fighting back. And that sounds right to me if we're just talking about Arjuna himself. I'm sure he would consider changes in the little people's faith as trivial matters beneath his notice. But he's a certain advisor in his ear, one who loves nothing more than snitching. And I can see that slimy devious monk not taking the chance to rat these people out. As I recall, you mentioned him on the border as well, as though you were on his extremely poor terms. Oh yes, he's a wonderfully shitty monk. As for who he is, well, you'll find that out when you meet him yourself. So it's his fault these people disappeared. No, it might be mine. Lakshmi. It might be because I helped them, because I lit a fire underneath them, because I drew this false god's attention to them. Maybe I'm the reason they were eliminated. They might have been erased as though they would never exist because they got caught in my cloud of bad luck. Lakshmi. Okay. I think I can pause in reading to talk. Yeah. Arjuna. This Arjuna, at the very least. Number 2. He's my second most hated servant, officially. You just... That's... Honestly, that is a fear of mine. To be forgotten. So this kind of draws on that, you know? They say the last time that you don't truly die until the last person says your name. But... non-existence. To never even have been acknowledged as having existence. That is a fate worse than death, and that is honestly a terrifying and horrendous thing to inflict on anyone. So, like, from a pure philosophical, moral standpoint, he's terrible. No, I would not accept him at any way, shape, or form. Oh no, nobody can get to place 1. Absolutely nobody can get to number 1 place. She who shall not be named is very firmly there, and there is little to nothing that can move her from that spot. Just because, while I hate Arjuna, while I hate this version of Arjuna for what his ideal of getting rid of things and all that and what he's done, she who shall not be named is just so much differing odds. I've gone on rants about that before, but I'm not going on them now because that will just eat up time, but suffice to say, there's little to nothing that can knock she who shall not be named off of that pedestal of most hated servant. Lakshmi. No, that's not my name. I've been lying to you this whole time. Everything that's gone wrong is my fault. I knew I should have stuck to fighting on my own. What are you talking about? You're not making any sense. The god that resides within me is not Lakshmi. What was that? Me. The goddess of happiness and prosperity? Huh, what a joke. I'm the exact opposite. I bring adversity and tragedy wherever I go. I'm the embodiment of things that everyone should avoid and despise. The real name of the goddess within me is Lakshmi. Lakshmi's older sister. The goddess of bad luck and misfortune. So that's why she has the bad luck, and she was channeling that bad luck. Okay, interesting. Effective, unforgiving rules strengthened by the erasure of those who rebelled against the god. This will be the last of Section 15. I think I will go... If Section 16 is shortest, that'll probably be the last one. It's true, those two sister gods are more like than shrimping prawns. Oh, Lakshmi, the goddess of misfortune. Lakshmi's direct opposite. You're saying that's who you really are. She's still a source of power, lacking conscience, as I told you before, but yes, that is who I really am. So that's why I was never quite able to sense my beloved seat as Lakshmi inside you. Part of it is because she's only a source of power now. Part of it's because they're sisters. No wonder I never got more than a vague impression of divinity inside you. Why didn't you tell us this sooner? Lakshmi's request was simple. She conveyed to me that she wanted to help her sister trapped within the false god. Okay, so what's the problem? That's one of our goals, too. Would ever want to join forces with the embodiment of bad luck and misfortune? Oh, her luck is literally E-. I was wondering if she would have a low-ranking luck stat when you summon her as a servant. But that's pretty amusing. I've been using you all for my own ends all this time. I thought you would refuse to help me if I was honest with my identity. Honestly, I thought that she was another one of the, Arjuna's people that rebelled against him because of the goddess within her. And that's what she was hiding. I didn't think she was the goddess of bad luck inside of her. And that would make it harder to achieve my goal of defeating the false god and regressing Lakshmi. You're right, Mordred. She's not a Lancer. She should have better luck than this. Only Lancers have E-rank luck. Some leader I am. I'm just a foolish woman steeped in lies and deception. Now those people are erased without a trace, and all of your hopes are dashed too. It's all my fault. You're wrong. Fo-fo! I understand you're really Lakshmi, but you're still wrong about the rest. Senpai and Pepe are right. You didn't erase Sashi or the people of Duval. Arjuna did. You can't blame yourself for this. Indeed, are you going to insist that every last bit of bad luck we've had is actually your fault? Because even for a goddess of misfortune, that would be going a bridge too far, Lakshmi. What? We're fighting for the fate of the entire world. Your luck can't possibly affect that, no matter how bad it may be. It is our skill and responsibility alone that will determine the outcome of our fight, just as it always has before. So the only lament I will allow from you is your clumsiness in the way you constantly stub your toe and squirm in agony. If you thought we hadn't noticed, you were gravely mistaken. Foo! 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 So you're finally done playing guessing games, whereas the answers were obvious. It's about time we started planning our next course of action, no? Agreed. Truth be told, I'd already formulated a hypothesis to who Lakshmi's true divinity might be. Lest we forget, the power she demonstrated during our first battle with William Tell was clearly nothing like that of a goddess of fortune would possess. Oh yes, that reminds me. I don't sense Varyu anywhere, so it seems Mr. Tell never did make it to this Yuga, did he? Though I can't say I'm surprised, given the resistance he put up at the end. I'm considering that a highly probable possibility as well. Given how bravely he fought last we saw him, I'm not sure if I should regret that we were unable to have him join us. Or be glad that at least a bit more of Arjuna's power is now gone. Okay, in light of all that's happened, we need to figure out a new plan, starting with where our old one went wrong. And it's obvious now that we were severely underestimating the extent of Arjuna's ability to erase things he considers defective whenever he remakes the world. Hard as it may be to believe it, we now know that he can get rid of entire communities if he wants to. Maybe he came up with some way to simplify it, like assuming anyone who takes part against Kali is effective. But either way, now that we know he's capable of master moves like this... Nobody has E- except for Lakshmi. Well, Enkidu and Dante's have question luck, but I don't... that counts. Probably doesn't. We should probably assume that the more people we send out, the more likely they are to be erased. So what you're saying is, our plan to turn more people against him and drag him from his godly throne isn't looking too good anymore. Nope, we're not gonna just give up. No, absolutely not, Master. You better believe it. Don't care if this world's god is the one behind it. No one should live in a world where they could be erased like this. Exactly. I do like that we're the ones saying that and not somebody else. Foo! Let's figure out the next plan. Couldn't agree more, Master. We may be back to square one, but so what? As for you, Queen, you has slightly worse luck than most people. I have no desire for you to go wandering about in a sackcloth and ashes before being so terribly morose. Who's going to benefit from your doing such a thing? It's an utterly pointless endeavor. Now that we know our old plan won't work, we need your help more than ever in coming up with the next one. Will you help us? Will you continue to fight beside us just as you have until now? Let's take everything around the said. Yeah, you're not the first complicated goddess at all. You truly are an odd one, aren't you? Yes, I am odd. Alright, now that we've reaffirmed our intent to continue onwards, I'd like to begin discussing specifics. Does anyone have any information that would give us a good place to start? I'll get right to the point. I can think of one thing. Oh, what's that? Ashwataman, there's something wrong with him. Yes, I think we all saw that for ourselves. Remy, darling, care to be a little bit more detailed? I'm afraid it's difficult to explain. All I can say is when we ran into him during the last Yuga, it felt like there was something fundamentally different about him compared to the other Lokpala. At least one of us an eye for detail. Disposing of Ashwataman is something I totally endorse, especially as I have my own grievances with him. I would like nothing more than for all of you to beat him within an inch of his life. We still don't know how to deal with his regenerative powers. I think it was like fighting an immortal. Exactly, he's immortal. And that's why he has no choice but to do what Arjuna says. What do you mean by that? Oopsie, now I've gone and said too much. Let's just go ahead and zip these lumps back up. Anyway, I do think it's worth a shot if you like. I could even tell you where he is right now. Hold it, I appreciate that proposal, but I don't trust it. Koyan can only be trusted to lead us into a trap. What in here? I made that proposal with the very purest of intentions. I guess this means you still haven't forgiven me after all, Your Excellency. Why in the world would I forgive you when you haven't shown the slightest sign of repentance? Did that sorry do something to your brain, beautiful? Just kidding. Alright, then I'll go ahead and give you the data you'll need to track Ashwataman down. Just to be sure of the results, while I conduct the search yourselves. True, that would be safer, though it will mean we will need to walk around ourselves to pick up his signal. That's just sort of trade-off we'll have to make for security. Even if it takes a little longer, it's a lot better than walking into a trap completely defenseless. Alright, now that our next goal is decided, let's go find Ashwataman and take him out quickly. Don't worry, once we find him, let me handle everything. I think I know what's going on with him now, so the next time we meet, I'll see if I'm right. Sorry, Rama, but you're not gonna take down an archer, man. You're not handling him, Rama. Well, there's another section done. Some more quartz obtained. I'll pause for a moment.